Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from InfoRest. Hope you're all doing well. So, I want to talk about this very interesting article that comes out from Zero Hedge. It's titled 9 Signs That the US Consumer is About to Break. Very interesting article. We'll go over the 9 signs, but the reason I bring this article to you is because there's a lot of talk out there, the narrative out there, that, this is a soft landing, that we're not going to get any hard landing. The economy's totally fine. We're going to get the rate cuts. Things are going to do well, blah, blah, blah. But I completely disagree, and I've been saying this on this channel for a very long time. I know, you know, it's been some time, and definitely it sounds like, it can sound like, and a lot of people can say that, hey, you're wrong, there's no hard landing, it's totally fine. But recessions don't act in that way. If you look at the past recession, especially in 2008, there were many signs out there. It was then until September 2008 where you finally had the event. Where the event happened, where then people saw the true colors of what was happening. And I feel this is the same example, that it's going to take its time. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to take its time, and there's signs out there. No matter what anybody says, no matter what the soft landing narrative is, no matter what someone's trying to sell you, I truly believe that there's signs that this is not going to end well. And especially the consumer, who's under a lot of pain and makes up for majority of the GDP, the economy out there, the decisions that the entrepreneurs and businesses make. It's dependent on how strong the consumers are. If you got no demand, then there's no reason to run a business, to start a business, to be an entrepreneur, to be in the business world trying to capitalize on things. There's no point, because no one's going to buy. There's no demand. It's going to get really bad, right? So here are the 9 signs that comes out from Zero Hedge. The first one is, after adjusting for inflation and taxes, household income in the US has fallen by 9.1% since 2020. I thought wages are going up. I thought things are fine. Like I said in my previous video, it's a cycle. UPS may be increasing wages, doesn't mean it's a good sign, because guess what? The cost is going to increase. The cost of services, the cost of goods, of delivering packages, they'll go up, because UPS is not going to incur that cost. They'll pass it on to you. So fine, if you got a higher wage in nominal terms, when you account the inflation and taxes and the truth behind it, it's actually down. You're actually down 9.1% since April 2020. So real wages is in trouble. Number 2, credit cards. Credit card debt has surpassed $1 trillion mark for the first time ever, as struggling American households increasingly turn to credit cards to get from month to month, to get by month to month, right? Living paycheck to paycheck. $1 trillion finally here in the credit card debt department, right? So you're seeing more Americans tap into those credit cards, even though that they're getting their higher wages and they're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. The labor market looks all good and razzy-dazzy. Well, guess what? More people tapping into that credit. And you know how that ends, if things get worse off, especially from the banking sector. They're not going to issue more credit if you're already under a lot of debt. And when things and shit hits the fan, they will completely come to a halt in giving any credit out there. So if you're relying on credit, advice is pay down that credit for sure, as much as you can. Because eventually, there will be a point where there will be complete standstill in the banking sector, in the banking system, and this credit that's going to be available will not be that available anymore. You're going to have to be really top tier up there. And they're going to make the requirements very difficult. As we're seeing it already. Seeing it already in my own country. The requirements are starting to get harder and stricter now. Because way too many people tapped into credit, and it's creating chaos. And I totally understand it, because also with this prices that are going up and the inflation, it's very hard to live in that environment, but you must find a way to try to pay that off, and and create enough excess of cash reserves. Cash is going to be king in this next coming months to a year or so on, especially when recession comes. Number three, the average rate of interest on credit card balance is over 20% and financially crippling millions of fellow citizens. So the number is actually around 20.5%, according to Bankrate. Paying 20%. Who gets a 20% return in this market? It's very difficult to do that. And the banks are getting that. The credit card companies are getting that. Paying 20%. That's insane. Number four, credit card delinquency. Rates hitting levels that we haven't seen in more than a decade, since 2012. Right? The Fed measured credit card debt 30 days or more, 30 days or more that came in late, climbed to 7.2% in the second quarter, and is up from 6.5% in Q1. This is the highest since first quarter of 2012. So the delinquency, meaning that you're unable to pay, is rising. And you're going to see that number continue as prices go up, as things look good, as the Fed continues to keep things tight. If things look good, then maybe rates will go up. And if rates go up, that will create more pain. Of course, the delinquency level will go up also. The number of Americans that are making emergency withdrawals from their 401k plans. Okay, this is absolutely surging and is not a good thing. Right? Your 401k, your investment accounts, your long-term investments should not be touched no matter what. You should have different buckets. Your buckets for your long-term, your buckets for your emergency funds, your savings, your day-to-day operations of life and stuff. The long-term 401k, your investment plans, your RSP, whatever you have, don't touch that in any circumstance. I know, there might be some situations for certain people that you got no choice. But if you can, try to create a environment where this long-term component is not touched no matter what until retirement, right? Keep that there for it to grow long-term. Have those other buckets, emergency funds, so on. Garage sale, second job, third job, Uber Eats, whatever it takes to make that excess cash. Cash is going to be king here. Savings, keeping cash, the cash reserves, going to be king here. That's how you can manage through the storm that's going to come. The other thing here, so number 6, over the past year, it has become much more expensive to purchase a home. We understand that. I've been talking about that on this channel for a very long time. Interest rates, mortgage rates have all gone up. It's crazy out there. So I don't need to dive deep into that. Number 7, the nationwide average rent to income ratio has been over 30% for the past 2 years. This is the first time in U.S. history that has ever happened, where the rent to income ratio has been over 30% over the past 2 years. It's, again, rent, shelter component, like we talked about in the CPI reports, high up there. That's creating strain and pain. Number 8, it's being reported that vehicle repair costs have gone up by 20% over the past year. Number 9, a whopping 69% of U.S. consumers that live in urban areas are currently living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, 69% U.S. consumers living paycheck to paycheck. That's living in the urban areas. Right? So, again, these are the 9 top things that Zero Hedge points out that consumers are under a lot of pinch and pain here, right? I say this and I create this video not to create a fear-mongering video to scare you, but to keep you aware of what's going on. Even though people out there, might be mortgage agents, might be realtors, might be, I don't know, someone out there who's telling you that, oh, things are fine. Oh, things are fine. Things are fine. Trust me, things will be fine 20 years down the road, 50 years. I totally get it. The economy, the U.S. markets will be higher and higher and will continue to go up. We will get by. We will go through this storm like we did in many previous recessions and storms out there. But it's there to prepare you in advance for what is to come. It's there to keep you knowledgeable on the truth and important good financial habits where you're paying off your credit card. Why would you want to continue to pay 20% to some bank or institution out there who's just taking advantage of you, of your situation, of the system? Stop paying them 20% and giving them a nice return. Pay off your credit. Create enough cash savings, enough account, so you could take advantage of opportunities. And most importantly, forget about the opportunity part, so you can weather the storm, right? So you can weather the storm, get by it, and then continue to thrive afterwards, right? So let me know what you guys think. What are you guys doing to weather this storm? Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers, bye.